Okay, hello. We have now started with the interview. I wanted to start knowing a bit about you, so who you are, and also what is your role in Ruro's Clothing.
Hi, my name is Ruhul Kaludgar. I'm the director of Ruhul Clothing. We are based in London, and we are the main promoter of sustainability and traceabilities on denim productions and innovation.
Okay, thank you. Now, starting with the set of questions, I'm going to start focusing on sustainability. And you know that sustainability is a big focus for many companies today, especially in fashion. So I'd love to know how does Ruro's Clothing ensure that the materials and the components sourced are sustainable and also environmentally friendly?
Very good questions. I really appreciate. As I mentioned initially, as a company, our main things, we work on two things. Number one is the sustainability, and the second is traceability. So, in terms of sustainability, we promote organic cotton, recycled cotton, and then BCI cotton, all those things, post-consumer recycled cotton. So, all those things are very, very eco-friendly materials which we promote every single day to our clients mainly, and we also ensure that the products coming are certified from recognized body. For an example, GOTS certified, OCS certified, RCS certified, BCI certified. So we got control the full certifications process as well. So this way we just ensure that our products are fully sustainable and environmentally friendly.
Okay, and could you give me, following up your answer, I'm also curious to know if you could give me a specific example of a sustainable practice that your suppliers or maybe your company also uses in order to comply with due diligence standards?
Yep. So for an example, let's say we work with a fabric mill called Aron Denim in Bangladesh. And we, first of all, before we start working with them, we check their certifications. For an example, do they have the SEDEX certifications, which is ethical production certificates? Second, we check them, have they got the control union certificates for organic cotton and BCI cotton, all those things. They need their certifications before we start any productions with them. In this way, we ensure that our supplier or our manufacturers are fully certified before even doing any productions or any negotiations with them.
That's quite interesting. I love that.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving up to the next question, I'm going to ask you about the supply chain. You know that managing the supply chain is quite tricky, so I would like to know how do you manage your supply chain in order to ensure both efficiency and also sustainability?
Fashion business is a very complex business, and the supply chain is a very, very complex supply chain in fashion. So to make it more simple for us, what we do, we narrow it down, our supply chain. So we don't work with many factories or many subcontractors. So what we have done in terms of many supply chain management, we only work with 2 factories in Bangladesh and only 3 fabric mills in Bangladesh, and couple of trim supplier. For an example, YKK for trims and zippers, for rivets and buttons for YKK as well. And for threads, we work only two factories, is A&E and ports. So in this way, we have narrowed down the whole supply chain, so it's more manageable and sustainable as well, because we know which material we're buying and we know which factory is approved for which certificates. In that way, as I mentioned, this is a more efficient way to managing supply chain. Instead of having 50 factories on board, we have very limited numbers of suppliers in our supply chain. So we have a full control of the sustainability and make it more efficient every single day.
That's really impressive also. Okay.
Thank you.
Following up that, I would also like to know if you, because sometimes it could happen, if you have faced any challenges trying to maintain the sustainable supply chain, and also how you have overcome them in order to also maintain a competitive advantage.
Yeah, managing the supply chain, as I mentioned, is challenging and is complex. So the way we manage it, we have a track record sheet. So in a page, we have a systems where we track record all the certifications validity date. So as long as we see the next month is the validity is finishing on of the suppliers, we send them an email and saying that, hey, your sustainable certificate is valid until this, you need to renew it. So this way we keep it alive and make it more functional and efficient. But the big challenge is that because sustainability comes with cost. So every step, every certification is extremely expensive nowadays. So the most suppliers from their end, they also try to minimize their costs, and they sometimes come back and push back to us. They don't want to continue the certifications process, which is costly. So we try to convince them, no, you need to carry on if we want to continue business with us. This way we are managing the challenges, but of course, cost is the big challenge in maintaining supply chain in fashion.
Yeah, that's completely true. That's for most of the companies also. Yeah, so
yeah, exactly. On the other hand, most brands are also reducing their cost as well. They don't want to pay more money for sustainable products. So as a result, it's on us as a manufacturer or as a supplier to absorb those costs. So minimizing our profit margin. So we're doing it, and hopefully the brand will come up and pay good money and say that, okay, that's good. So you are doing so many initiatives on sustainability. We're gonna pay you good money as well. So hopefully that day will come soon.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you now about that, focusing about. Well, I'm gonna ask you. Well, yeah, first one question. I wanted to ask about what steps does Ruro's clothing take into reducing its environmental impact during. Let's focus now on production.
Yeah. That's a very interesting question because I came from a production background. So my whole background is in production and supply chain. So because we are a jeans manufacturing company, as you know, jeans is the most water consumed product. So when we make a jeans, make a one jeans, it takes around from the cotton to finish, it takes around 800 liters of water. That's one pair of jeans. So water is a big consumed for jeans making, and also other chemicals as well. There are so many hazardous chemicals used in jeans making process traditionally. So to avoid that one, to make it a more environmentally friendly, we have invested a lot of money in our factory to modernize the machine. So we have now a machine, we can make a jeans without single water. There is no drop of water. So we have machines to do that in productions. We have a laser machines, we have a e-flow machines, and we have a tornado pigment dye machine. So we have different types of new modern machines. We have a machines called waterless denim. So all those machines helps us, modern technology helps us to reduce environmental impact. And also we use a special software from Spain as well. It's called Genologia. There is a company called Genologia in Spain. So they invented a software where you can measure how impactful is the jeans is the jeans, how many waters, how many liters of waters, how many watts of electricity used to produce the jeans. So this is very interesting software. We also use this software in our production, so we can measure if the jeans is sustainable enough or not. If in the product before productions we test it, if we see that jeans is taking too much of water, too much of energy, too much of gas, oil, and human labors, we don't produce that one. So we redesign the jeans in a way so it's less impactful, and then we do the production in that way. So yeah, this is very, very interesting, and there are a lot of happening in production in Bangladesh. People in the factory, they got high-tech machineries. They got a robot now. They can do the spray, like all the chemical spray done by a robot. So there is no human touch. So the human is not affected for chemicals, which is also beautiful, I would say. So there are a lot of things happening in productions in the factory side, especially in Bangladesh. Because I travel to Bangladesh very often, and I go to factory. I can see it's it's different world. It's like a technological denim now instead of manual denim. We can't say it handcrafted anymore. I think in future we need to tell it's a machine crafted. So yeah, so that's why we are reducing the environmental impact during production, I would say.
Wow, that's really impressive. I have literally no idea of that data, that jeans are made out of water and all that. I have literally no idea. So that's a new thing that I'm gonna learn for today. I'm
Yes.
also curious to know maybe if you can share me talking about the jeans. I'm curious to know if you could share me a recent initiative that maybe has been done also to reduce even more, because you have reduced it a lot, the environmental footprint of the company, and also how does it compare with industry standards?
Compared to industry standard, for an example, if I take a one jeans, I'm doing a one production now in a one jeans where it's used to take in a traditional way is 11,000 liters of water to produce that jeans, because it's a bleach wash and that's all those things. So in our modern technologies, we have used only I think is around 80 liters of water instead of 11,000. And also there is no PP spray. You know, in the jeans, when you see the faded look on the jeans.
Yeah.
So this is done by a special chemical called potassium permanganate, which is harmful for bodies, for human skin. And also the spray is quite bad for human heart. So instead of doing that, we use a laser machine. So the laser is coming straight away from the laser. We do the same fading without any chemicals. It's like using by a laser machine. So this is a big initiatives we have taken, and all our productions now, we only do laser machine. We don't use any potassium permanganate at all in our production.
Impressive. Quite impressive.
Thank you.
Okay, moving now to, we were talking about production. Now we're moving into the distribution. We know that moving products sustainably is just as important as producing them. So I would love to know, how do you minimize the environmental footprint of your product delivery?
On this one, I would say, because we are a manufacturer or a supplier, we don't take the responsibility of shipping the goods to the destination. It's the customer who takes the responsibility to take the goods to the warehouse. But of course, as a manufacturers, we have an influence. Let's say if I make the production delay, definitely they need to take the goods by air instead of sea. So we try to give them the products on time from our manufacturing side, so that they can take their goods by sea instead of air. So air is more polluted than sea. So this is one way we help them. And the second way, I can also see the couple of brands are doing now, because we are not involved in that area at all, not at all, not that much. But I'm seeing a couple of brands started doing now, using eco vehicle, like electric vehicle only, to distribute their goods. They don't use any diesel or petrol car for any van or lorry, which is very, very good initiatives. And I would say, in terms of the logistics in our site, what we do, we also try to use internally as much as possible electric van or electric lorry internally, because we don't ship directly to the customer, as I mentioned. But internally we try.
So you use new technologies in order to also adopt new distribution methods and all that, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, as I mentioned, we don't take the responsibility to take the goods from Bangladesh to, let's say, Spain or any other country. It's a customer, it's a brand they does. But we do manufacturing, so we give them the on time, so that they can take the goods by sea instead of air shipping. Air shipping is more polluted.
Okay. That's a great method, I think. Really great method. Okay, so moving now to the next question. We're now gonna focus on, even though we mentioned it before, but now we're gonna focus on the supplier relationship. So we know that moving products sustainably is just as important as producing, and also delivering them sustainably. So I would like to know, how does Ruro's Clothing maintain strong relationships with suppliers in order to ensure also that they adhere to sustainability practices?
Very good question. As I mentioned earlier, that we have narrowed down our supply chain. Instead of working with 50 factories, we only work with 2 factories. And with the 2 factories, we maintain the certification process by our internal team. So we know their certification, we reviewed their certifications, we verified the certifications, and we also push them to get more and more sustainable certificates. And we also push them to implement new technology in their factory. In that way, we are maintaining a good relationship with the suppliers, because when they implement a new technology, of course, it's a big investment. We give them a good order. So that is a good balance, investment and the big orders. It's a good balance for them. And also we maintain their certification as well. We push them to get more organic certificates, more BCIS certificates, more control union certificates, SEDEX, BCIs. We basically promote their certifications to the other clients, so that they get promoted as well from using their own certificates.
Yeah. Okay. And now we're going to the last question, which maybe, well, yeah, the last question, where we're going to focus more internally. And I'm going to ask you, how does Ruro's Clothing engage and motivate also employees in order to participate in sustainability initiatives?
Right. So we're a small team in Bangladesh, in London office at the moment. So we are only 5 people working in London office, and we have a team in Bangladesh, around 30 people working internally. So we got around 35 people internally working. So in terms of employee facilities, in sustainability initiatives, what we have done, we are not using any plastic bottles small plastic bottles in our offices. So instead of that, we have given them glasses like this. So everyone got a glass like this, and then we have we don't have the big plastic bottles. We have a filter, so the water we can drink from the filter. So instead of buying bottles every single day, we basically use filter water in the office. This is one thing. Second thing is our lights. All these lights you can see here in the office, in all our offices. So if we go outside of the office, within a second, the lights will go off automatically. So it's saving energy. Instead of keeping the lights on all the time, so keep the lights only when the people are available. So these are the small initiatives we are taking. All our tags, when we send the samples, we send the tags. Let me show you. Okay, so for an example, this is a tag we send to our customers when we send any garment. So this tag is from a recycled material, recycled paper. And also this rope. So this rope is coming from a jute. It's a natural fiber. Instead of using a plastic rope, we are using a natural fiber. It's like a jute fiber. This one. So these are small initiatives we are taking internally to promote sustainability in our internal environment.
I have never seen that in any shop. That's
one more thing.
Really impressive.
One more thing for our employee, we basically encourage our employee to cycle more instead of taking local buses or local train. So everyone in our office, almost not everyone, I think 50% of our office got bicycles. So it's more eco-friendly than using public transport or car.
Yeah, here in the Netherlands also everyone uses bicycles instead of that.
I know, because I worked in G-Star Raw before in Netherlands.
In Netherlands also?
Yeah, do you know G-Star Raw?
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, so I was employed by them.
Yeah, I saw it by A&C, right? A&C, I saw, or something like that.
No, G star raw.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, also.
Yeah.
Okay, so following up also what you said about employees, that I think it's quite impressive because I haven't seen anyone do that. The thing of the lights, I was quite impressed, and also the water, because you go to any place and they just don't care. They just go there to work. So I would also want to know if employees, this is a personal question I would like to ask, if employees are also satisfied with participating in that, and if also they have, I don't know, maybe changed their mentality or whatever of just going to work, but you also need to um, align with sustainability and have it present in your daily lives.
I personally enjoy a lot sustainability because that's the reasons I established this company is a sustainable and traceable company. So the main motto of the company is to promote sustainability and traceability. And everyone working in our office or in Bangladesh in our team, we promote or we encourage them to be more sustainable things, and employer taking it very very happily, I would say, and they are participating all the courses classes, because we do sometimes a workshop on sustainable practices in the office. So everyone is coming and happy to join all those workshops, and also they know the product sustainabilities and things, and because sustainability is a big thing in our daily life as well. So I can definitely see that these are used by our colleagues, I would say, because let's say for an example, bicycles. When most of the employees here, when they join, they don't have any bicycle, because I bicycle. I encourage them to buy one, and then they buy one. I look for them buy this one, buy this one. This way, they are getting more engaged and participating in sustainable lifestyle.
Okay, that's really amazing. Like I'm quite impressed with what you do.
Thank you so much for appreciating that.
I really appreciate it because nowadays you don't really see that in most of the shops. So it's good to
It
know
is.
that.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
yeah, that was all of the interview. I think we have came to the end, and I think it was quite good.